Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm joined by Curtis from My Designs. He's got some updates for us. He's always working on something cool behind the scenes. Curtis, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Ryan? Thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks for being here. We talked about so we're basically going to focus today on how My Designs really helps bridge the gap between all of the buzzworthy oh, AI. We keep hearing the phrase, how to bridge the gap between like using AI and actually making money off of it. Is that something like what we're going to talk about today?
yeah, I think so. So we could talk about how you can generate, images from AI just using text prompts. We have that built into My Designs now, and of course, significantly better over the next 60 days. And then also how to kind of generate your titles and descriptions for products in bulk in My Designs using AI again. So yeah, that's a big part of it. And then of course, a few other things I want to touch on is like our Canvas system, helping you make those print ready files, align your designs and the placement, etc., in bulk. So there's a couple of really good things we can cover today.
Dude, I love the bulk aspect. For me, with the YouTube channel and everything else, it definitely lets me kind of participate in like running an Etsy print on demand shop without the amount of time it used to take me before I had a YouTube channel, and I could just sit there all day and kind of grind through the manual process of research, design, upload, listing optimization. Then you use My Designs. It's like, oh, let me do 100 at a time, no problem.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're getting after. So repeat, just kind of remove all those repetitive one by one processes, enable you to do everything within My Designs, and also enable you to do it in bulk. So again, it saves you a lot of time. We're in the business of saving you time and also automating pretty much the majority of your workflow.
Yeah, and your developers, they're not scared off by anything cutting edge,
Nope.
It's like, "Oh, the AI for keywords, AI for title, AI for image generation." It's like, give Curtis a month and his team a month, and it's like it's in the tool.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Our software engineers are incredible, and they never back down from a challenge. They love it. They always look forward to it, and they move extremely fast and do a great job at it. So I'm very grateful for them.
For sure, man, as evidenced by, My Designs. So do you wanna screen share and kinda show some of the stuff that we had talked about?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. We jump right
I'm
into
gonna
it.
add you to the stream here.
All right, can you see that?
Yeah, and by the way, everybody that wants to follow along, there is the ability to create a free account using the link in the description. A lot of times when you hear free account, you're like, oh, is it going to make me put my credit card in or is it some gimmick? Like the My Designs free account's pretty legit. So I would invite you to do that and follow along if you want to.
Yeah, 100%. And our free plans you have access to almost everything I'm going to show you today. So you can take advantage of everything we're doing, at least at a basic level, and everything I show you except for Fraser AI for generating titles and tags in bulk, you'll be able to take advantage of with a free plan. So I highly recommend
Nice.
you check it out.
Cool.
All right, so I think we'll start with Dream AI. So it's right down here, and again, you just basically would put in a text prompt, and we have multiple models. It's all based on Stable Diffusion. You can see the different models here, and of course, all the different settings. I'm not going to touch on much of this. I'll just show a few examples. And I already ran some prompts before, and I'll run that again. But I'll come down here, so you can see a history of a lot of your prompts too. We'll store. Some of them are going to look a little bit weird. Within the next 60 days, these should get significantly better, and it'll get to a point where you can generate really high quality graphics within My Designs, and then actually cut out the background and upscale them, and then have them stored right here in My Designs. You use them however you see fit. So in this case, I was just
Truly monetize it, right?
yeah, so you can monetize it however you
So
want to do
sick.
that. You download it, take it somewhere else, use it however you like. It's going to be really really impressive. It'll all be within one tool. So you go into multiple different services. It'll be all available to you right here in My Designs. But this is like a wood. If I scroll up, it actually stores the settings here. So you can see it's a very basic prompt. Now, if you give it more detail, it's going to be better, but this is just running through these quickly. You can see the model I used here. This is version 1.5. It's a little bit different, like adding a color to it and different type of pattern. And again, you can use these. You can save these to a collection within My Designs, and of course, upscale them 2 or 4x. And when you upscale them, it actually improves the quality of the original graphic too, which is great. And you can choose again your collection just like you're familiar with on the listings page. Up here, you can move through your collections where you want to save it. And if I save that, it takes a few credits, and then you'll save it to the collection and
Dude,
upscale in
that's
this
that's
case.
so cool though, because like a lot of times, I mean, there's so many different AI image generators out there, and it's pretty annoying when you have the output, but it's not in like a usable resolution. And you guys, I'm assuming this was probably a separate, like, was that a complimentary add-on, the upscaler? So it's kind of like Stable Diffusion, output image, and then a separate AI to like upscale.
Yeah, yep, 100%. They're all separate, and we're bringing them all to one central hub for you. so you don't have to go everywhere. Like I said, the different tools and services, you can do it all here. And this is
amazing.
just, again, this is like a beta like state with Dream AI. It'll get so much better. And I'm really excited to see, even within the next 30 days, maybe 45, how good it's going to be. Because we're going to get to that point where it'll be as good as Midjourney, but you'll be able to generate images faster and do it all within My Designs and do a bunch of them in queue too. So if you want to queue up multiple prompts, so take scaling to another level. If you think about dog breeds, you have a prompt that just producing really good results. Now you got to change the dog name or the dog breed. So like Cocker Spaniel, Schnauzer, Rottweiler, German Shepherd, right? And just queue them all up and then have all these beautiful images returned. So it'll get really exciting.
That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. And that also avoids some of like what I think, some of the people that have seen the previous My Designs videos, and that, with all the ability to do everything in bulk, maybe we step on each other's toes in theory with like for me, I'll go grab a bundle of designs from Vexels or Creative Fabrica. And it's like, in theory, what if somebody else that uses My Designs does the same thing? Well, but here you can just go grab guarantee unique graphics, right?
Yep. So the AI, every time it generates, it's always unique. It's never going to generate the same thing. It's really impressive, and it's technically your work. So you can download it and use it however you see fit. So,
that's so cool.
Another thing I wanted to show you too. So you see, like, I could come in here and select these. So instead of saving it to a collection, if you just want to download it to your local computer, you can just hit download to device. You see all three of those I have selected. Now they're on your computer. So it's that easy. You can select all of these if you want at the time and download it. But now I'm going to go up. So we were testing some prompts. I was testing some prompts here earlier, but let me go up and probably run this again. I'm going to move the quality up a bit. Number of images, I'll probably move that down to 4. And these different settings, they'll tell you what they do here. If you go over this little eye icon for more information. But I'm going to run a Cocker Spaniel one more time. And while that's queued up, I'm just going to change this to a different dog. Let's actually go with...
And so how many different models do you have in there? Just out of curiosity.
There's a bunch. So honestly, 1.4 will probably be going away. 1.5 is really good for a lot of different use cases. And then everything's like basically you'd want to use 2.1 and above. And I think there's another model that we should be releasing within 30 days that's significantly better than all of these. It's going to enable a lot of possibilities. But yeah, right now, I think there's 8 different models. The in-painting models we don't fully support yet because we're working on the UI for that, where you'll be able to take any of these images essentially and go into it and kind of like add a brush stroke to like make the background transparent and different things like that. And then you can put in a prompt what you wanted to fill it in with, and it'll blend it in with the image and all that nicely. So the in-painting stuff's going to be fun once that's here.
Dude, we're so spoiled being able to use this.
Yeah, it's exciting, and we're gonna again just build it into My Design, so it's all central here in one hub.
Dude, that could be wall art, man. Look how good some of these are. Like these 4 right here, you could make kind of that like Andy Warhol, like Marilyn Monroe style, where you just do like the 4 quadrant different colors.
Yeah, you can actually add styles. So I don't know of a style off the top of my head. Let me try this. I'm gonna get rid of watercolor and just say in the style of. Let's see what happens here. Mona Lisa. I have no idea what this is going to produce, but
and so for the free tier account, they can come in here and mess around with it, right? They get a couple credits.
Yeah, they'll have 20 credits, which allow, if you go down one image, it'll allow you to generate over 20 to 40 images to test it out. Okay. So I actually got this here. Kind of goofy, but it's getting it. It's understanding it a bit. That's pretty funny, man. Yeah, but you can throw any type of style in that, especially with version 1.5, because it supports more styles, artist styles. So any really popular artists like Van Gogh and whatnot, you can just throw that style in, say in the style of, and then generate it. And get those results. But yeah, that's Dream AI, and I'm going to build some more videos on this in the future, especially as we get the new models rolled out, because it's going to be way better, like I said. But I just wanted to kind of show you like what's possible there. Now I think we should move over to Fraser AI. This is one of my favorite tools right now within My Designs, because it gets you, like when you think about SEO and optimizing your titles and tags for Etsy, for instance, like a lot of that, it's a lot of manual work just trying to do that the right way. Now, Fraser AI, it's basically, it's been trained on best-selling Etsy data, so from best-selling products. So now it's like our AI that understands what a best-selling product looks like, and from one keyword, it can basically generate titles and tags for you. Now, it's not going to give you a complete listing. You still always want to manually review it, add in your own keywords, make your own changes, adjust it, and add in maybe, a few additional tags and remove some tags, but it'll get you like 80% of the way there. Now, again, you can do that in bulk too. So if you're talking 100 listings, you can generate all those titles and tags in bulk and do it in less than 20 seconds. Then go through, spend some time optimizing those listings with your own knowledge. And it'll get you like 80% of the way done. So
Yeah, time is money, guys. So if you can get 80% of the way there with you just feed in like the primary keywords, right?
yep, that's all it takes. And I'll
Yeah, I mean,
show you. So I have the keyword data set here. So you can see I always take the scenic route, and then another one, it's just camping. So we could kind of experiment with both of those. But by the way, one thing that's really cool is you can actually just, I'll show you just on this listing real quick. And do scenic route camping, and just like that with a separated with a comma. So you can actually kind of, if you want to use more than one keyword, you can just separate it by a comma and do it that way. So if I just select this one, I'm going to go to Fraser AI and we'll just see what that looks like. I put it in title, so it's actually going to override it with the data, but that's what I'm going to map as the keyword. And t-shirt we'll use as the product type. So basically this is where you'd map your keyword that you want to use to generate the title and descriptions with. And that'll be one of the fields within this collection. So in this case, the title. Product type. So we have a bunch of product types supported.
Yeah, that's smart that you did that. I used to, back in the infancy, or like, more closer to when My Designs was released, sometimes I would do like primary keyword, secondary keyword, and I would make a custom field called like primary, secondary, and just tie them together that I could then feed into, where the secondary might be the product type, so it'd be like camping, shirt, and then merge them.
Yeah, and we had to do it this way too because we're training. When we train the AI, we need to train it on actual real products, or real T-shirt data instead. So it's trained on all these different types of data. Now, digital, it's actually not trained on yet, but that's coming. But in some cases, with the right keywords, it still can give you really good results. So I'm going to go with T-shirt, and then right here, if you wanted to just generate a title, you could turn tags off. And by the way, we have description generators coming soon too, so you can basically generate the whole listing and include the product from our catalog in that case. But so Fraser, I'll just go with title tags. We'll put that in the title field. We'll put that in the tags field and just submit. So it's going to take this title here, this keyword, scenic route and camping. We'll see what it comes up with. Shouldn't take too long to.
Yeah. Etsy, by the way, I still am waiting. They said they were going to like use the top of your description as like the meta description, which would help you like your Google rank. And I still haven't seen them roll that out. So
yeah.
It's like they said they were, and it just, unless it happened recently, last time I checked, like it's still not there. So
yeah, interesting. But yeah, they are going to start to value the description, like you said, for SEO reasons, help you rank better in the research results. But I haven't experimented with that to see if that's the case.
The title looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Again, that was based off that scenic route and then that camping. So you can see it has kind of broken down. It has T-shirt, hiking T-shirt, camping shirt, mount. Yeah, this is great. Again, you have 140 characters for Etsy, so if you wanted to add more, you could do that. And then tags, these look pretty good.
Dude, I'd say those are pretty good. Like, especially considering, you could do this 120 products at a time and think about all the things you could do with the time you just saved. I mean, on the time is money equation, I think it's hard to argue against using an AI as long as it's going to give you, and in this case, like Fraser AI so far, 1-for-1 in terms of like a great output.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy how good the results already are, especially if you just use a keyword that explains what your listing is, or two keywords in the case like I did here. You can get some impressive results. But I'm going to remove this. And this time I'm just going to go through and use this keyword. And again, this isn't a good keyword, really. It's just basically what's on the design itself. It's like the text. But I'm going to try it just to see what it comes up with, and we can run a few more. But so I'm going to actually select all 20 of these listings now. And do the same thing we just did. So Fraser AI. This time I'm mapping to that primary keyword field that has that. I'm going to go T-shirt again, titles, tags, and we'll just run that.
Yeah, this is definitely like a true test because it's a little bit less context, right?
Yeah, exactly. So see how fast that's done for all 20 of those? So that didn't have camping, I don't think, in hardly any of the keyword, which obviously you'd want. In some cases like this is good to realize you wouldn't want that, right? So for this adventure begins, it's like trained on data. It probably had some Disney.
If you saw my video that I just dropped yesterday, it was like basically just calling out so many people on like Etsy and Amazon that just commit infringement and they don't care.
Yeah, be careful with that. And that's again like what I was saying with Fraser AI, because it's trained on real product data. You always want to review it. So in this case, this is like picking up some Disneyland type of shirt about an adventure. So if we were to improve the keywords, so I'm glad that came up, because if you added camping in here, not in this case, but like into this. So if I went like, I actually made to try that in a second here.
Dude,
I'll
yeah,
add
do
it and
my
come back
approach,
to it.
the primary secondary approach, like an extra field, join them, and then feed that in with the extra context, of camping.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna just try this real quick. I'm gonna get rid of the tags. And so, yeah, I can do what you said. That's a smart idea. In this case, I just did it manually because I'm going to try it for one listing, but I just want to see how this looks. It'll overwrite the title of the new one. Let's go primary. Yeah, overwrite.
Anybody that wants my old videos, by the way, they're still on YouTube. They're in a playlist, I think they're on the very top of my channel. If you check it out, it's like the first playlist. You can see
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
See, that was a really good example. So now if we want to take this and so the adventure begins shirt, which could be road trips, could be camping, it could be anything, right? How you want to position it in the search results. So just adding camping to the end. Now look how much better that title is in this case.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a good example. I'm glad that popped up on the video on this video, so we could so people could see that and how you can kind of improve it.
Definitely. Yeah. So it looks like that's probably going to be a good approach. Like typically when I upload to my designs too, I mean, and guys, if there's demand, let me know in the comments. Like I can do another video kind of showing my approach that I've kind of refined over time. Maybe even what me and Curtis were talking about doing like a Udemy course maybe in the future.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like I typically will grab my designs and group them by niche so that then I can like have my, each unique design, whatever it says, like camp more, worry less. The secondary keyword can be the niche keyword.
Yep.
Do the join into a, keyword that pulls in both of them, feed that in. It's nice to see that, the product type is in a dropdown. So I don't need to add the product type as like a third keyword. Feed that into the Fraser AI and then get a great output.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, dude, this is so powerful, man. And then the whole AI, Dream AI thing is just going to be, it already is crazy, but you guys are already working on improvements, doing the transparent backgrounds, which is going to be huge.
Yeah, be able to remove the background, save it to collection, upscale it at the same time, and improve the quality of the original image. Basically making it easy to monetize at that point. But yeah, some of these are really good. The ones that have camping in them, like you can see, these are really good. This is a great title right here.
Mm-hmm.
And the tags in a lot of cases are pretty good. Sometimes like this has yoga and meditation in there, and some of them are really short. I could just like select that listing in particular. I'm gonna try this again.
It's understandable too, keeping in mind that like Etsy tags give you 20 characters. So when it says like meditation as just one word, it's probably because it wants to like say something more contextually about like, outdoor meditation or something, but it's like doesn't fit maybe, like camping outdoor meditation or something.
It has camping in it, I guess, but I'm just gonna go with camping. Try that. I'm just gonna mix it up, camping therapy, and just see what the tags are like. This case, I can just go here, turn title off, go back to that primary keyword t-shirt, yeah, and just see what the tags like turn out in that case. So you could just experiment with different keywords, and it's so fast. The results like come back really quickly. So yeah, that looks a lot better.
And over time, are you continuing to like feed in more data and
Yeah.
help this like get more refined?
Yep, this will get again. It gets better every month. So we're training on more and more data, so it could just continuously get better. And this is just the very first version of it, so it's already as good as it is, and it'll get so much better too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because even with what you showed, like initially, like some of those dog outputs seemed like they were ready to just be sold as wall art or something as is, or stickers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Stickers are a good one in that case because you're not going to have an issue with print quality or anything like that. So I actually could go back to this real quick. I'm just going to grab, let's see. I'll grab one of these and just save it to maybe this one. I'm going to upscale it 4x and just save it to that same collection. I'm going to put it in the default slot so I can show you how that works because I didn't touch on that earlier, but now you can see how easy that'll upscale.
That just added it directly to this collection. Yeah, that's so cool. So you can make a collection called dogs and just like add a bunch of them right here.
Yep, exactly. And again, like as you control the collection up here, so I can move through these different collections, you do the same thing here. So it's the same general collection. So you're working within a collection, you go back and forth. That's how you can like generate images and save them. In this case, it was generated at 512 by 512 pixels. So if you look at this, now it's 2048 by 2048 pixels, which is big enough for any type of sticker.
Dude, and also just the fact that I'm just thinking out loud, like the fact that you put the like sunglasses on the dog too, almost makes it so that it like can apply to anybody with that dog type, because it doesn't show the like distinct identifying features. So that could truly be gifted to probably a couple, million people in America right now
Yeah,
that looks like
absolutely.
their dog.
Yeah, that's a Yorkie.
Yeah.
And again, like the ability to scale, especially when the quality gets better, where you could just come up with a really good prompt and it's producing great results, and all you got to do is change out the dog breed or the cat breed or whatever pet, right? Or animal, whatever it is. So you could, it's so scalable and it's also very unique. Every graphic's unique versus traditional scaling, where it's just usually you're changing out a name or location or whatever it is.
Mhm. Yep.
So it's going to enable a lot of really cool possibilities. I'm going to delete this.
Yeah, and I'm proof of how far you can go with the other approach.
No, that works well too. Scaling that way
Yeah.
works well. It's one of my favorite ways to scale, honestly. So that was Fraser AI. Again, we could touch on this, but I want to. So that was for t-shirts. I want to show you how easy it is if you wanted to also do mugs, for instance. So I'm just going to go to the template and listing right here. I'll just hit you just basically hit plus. So it's going to duplicate whatever listing or whatever tab you have, data set selected. So I'll just call this mugs and I'll move it over here. Basically, we just created another data set in this collection. You can see here it's empty for title, description, tags for mugs. So I'm going to move to the mugs one. And on the keywords, I'm actually going to go through, which one do we add camping to the end? This one? I'm going to go through and just add that to the end because I think it's better, like produce better results. So real quick to the primary keyword, add to end.
And for anybody watching, this is what I would do in bulk myself, just by, like if we knew from the beginning how we wanted to structure it, we just update the template, join the primary, secondary, and can do everything kind of in just a few clicks for up to 120 listings at a time.
Yeah. Which you're saying with the active variables. So you just put it at template level too and just have that automated.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, so this is ready. Let's say,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's say we want to just create mugs. So I'm going to map to that primary keyword. I'll change this product type to mug, title tags. Whoops, this is where I got to change this to the mug title and tag.
Mm-hmm.
So now I change it to the mug data set, and we'll see how quickly we can just generate this data too. So you want to do t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, whatever it might be, stickers. They're all
do
there.
A mock-up too while you're here, just to show everybody how quickly you just did this.
So you see these are great tags now. Having that camping on the end made a huge difference. Camping mug, glamping mug. So that looks good.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's great. So a lot of these are good. So yeah, so a mock-up now. Let's go to the mock-up generator. And we do a t-shirt. We've added a lot of new mock-ups. These are all the general ones that'll go on. All the new products are coming, but let's find, so let's go to Bella 3001. See what we can use here. There's color charts. Let's see. So this is a darker design, so I'll probably want to be a light, like a white shirt.
I thought you were going to do a coffee mug, but yeah, you could do
both. I have to go to mugs too.
Yeah.
On the mugs, I actually got to go create the Actually, what I'll do is like you have to create the print ready file first. Because it's got to be different. So this is built for this original designs for t-shirts.
Well, that's the optimal way to do mugs. There's people who, not even people, but like printers. Like I'm pretty sure Redbubble just does it on like one side.
Yeah, they show it just one-sided print. Which
I
you
just
could
got
do.
a bunch of stuff from Redbubble the other day. From Creative Fabrica sent me like a bundle of like their branded stuff through Redbubble, and it was like the mug. I was like, damn, like Redbubble mugs kind of suck.
All right, so that's a t-shirt. I'll do the mug one after if you like, but that's pretty much how easy you can, you can generate titles and tags and soon descriptions for, your listings in bulk up to 120 at a time on the Pro Plus plan. Now I think we should touch on the Canvas system.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Well, that's generating those mockups. Maybe we can wait and show that, but because a lot of people, I don't know if you've seen this, like bulk mockups. And again, everything in my designs, you can just do it in bulk. So it's not about doing the same process over and over to get what you need. If you have all these designs you want to generate mockups for, you can select them all in bulk, generate the mockups all in bulk. So for people that aren't aware of how that works, but so in this case, we just did these. See, that's the line lower because of the initial input file I used. So maybe I'd want that lined up here. So on the Canvas system, I'll show you how you can prepare that. Same thing with this.
Oh, it's amazing.
All right. So I have all 20 of these selected. So we're going to make these print ready. So I'm going to go Canvas. This is one of my favorite things within my designs too, like Fraser AI and this. So any product we have or any template you need for a product, you just come over here and select it. Or you can also put in custom dimensions here. So for a t-shirt, 4,500 by 5,400, that'll work on pretty much most clothing products and print on demand. So I'll go with this. In fact, I'm going to show you like some of the benefits of this. So I'm going to go, let's say it was like a pocket style design, maybe slightly bigger.
All right.
put it up here. So I could go through and just do this manually, go to the next listing and do it again. But instead, I can do it once and say, okay, I want to apply that to all 20 of these selected listings. You could hit the sync button. And now you can see that this is all like there for every one of them.
Oh, that's so cool, dude. That's so cool.
In this case, right, that one is already aligned middle. So maybe you want to move it up. You could also just manually adjust that one in particular. Same thing with that. But let's move this one up.
If you have some winning design, you can just easily jump back into My Designs. Whether it's one winning design or like a whole collection of like 10 up to 120. And you're like, man, these are really selling well on t-shirts. Let me launch them as mugs. Let me launch them as stickers. Let me make the pocket design. Of course, you can also have multiple product types in one listing, which was like the coolest thing ever. I remember we like pitched the idea on one of these videos, and then like a month or two later, it was already live.
Yeah.
So crazy.
All right. So let's say I like that, right? I'm just going to save this. I'll just say pocket. Yeah, that's the file slot I'm creating to store all these in. And we'll just, again, process that in bulk. I made some manual changes, but also go through and make a print ready file for like t-shirts after this. It'll queue it up. And while it's doing that, I'm just going to go in here. So I like that one, but there's a couple of those, right, that weren't aligned. So I'm going to leave it right where it is. Like this. And this, you could also
it's like a pet peeve of mine to like vertically align.
Yeah. And these are already like, some of these are aligned right in the middle just because they're smaller images. So they're like, you see how the difference in the sizing or the placement. So you quickly just go through and do this.
Like before I ever queue up designs in My Designs, I always go through and like manually put them into like Photoshop. I should be an illustrator, but you know, creature of habit. I still use Photoshop primarily. And I'll like adjust any colors I need to, or remove the designs, you know, vertically typically.
Yeah.
So when I load them up, they're like ready to roll.
So yeah, which is the right way to do it. And if you do that, by the way, and you have the placement where you want, then you make these changes. You can just sync it for all the listings and it's done. So you don't have to go through and do what I just did now. It's really easy to get the placement exactly how you want on any type of product. Create whatever type of print file you want. So I'm going to name this one just, let's just say POD. And apply. So now we'll generate that. The other one's done. So you stored it here, this pocket design. So I'll change the file slot. Oh, kind of get an idea of that. So this is that 4500 by 5400 pixel template. So you can see.
And like, if you guys wanted to publish this, by the way, like obviously you'd want to have a template that is pretty well optimized to show a pocket themed design. If you just do a standard mockup, it's not going to probably look as good because it'll be pretty zoomed out. And like, you can upload the custom templates to My Designs as well. So you can have your, you know, PSD file that has the smart layer.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to throw too much at anybody watching that's kind of beginner. This is why you go through incrementally and kind of learn step by step. That's why maybe the Udemy course would be a good option. But also, like I said, right now for free on YouTube, go to my channel, go to the first playlist at the top. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can pretty much learn in the order you need it, where I go a little bit slower and kind of walk you through how I use it. But obviously they're making a lot of updates too since each video. So
yep. Now a few other things, actually to minimize this a bit. So I want to show you this and then we can wrap this up. But this is really, this is cool. So you can actually drag and drop images onto this canvas. And I'm going to actually, a lot of people use Canva, right, to create like a mock-up if it's a flat lay like t-shirt. And you want to add an image over the top of it and add a little opacity to the design, so it kind of blends with the shirt. It's not the best way to do mock-ups, but it works. You know, and a lot of people do that. So in that case, I have let me find this folder. Yeah, so I have some shirts, right? So in this case, this is a shirt with a transparent background. So I'm actually going to upload this real quick. You can also drag and drop. You don't have to do what I just did. So I have this shirt. It's obviously in a big template. So this little image here, fit canvas to image size. So the image I'm selecting, which is the shirt, I could just do that. And now I could take this make this much smaller.
So that matched the canvas to the image you just had selected.
Yeah. So now you can see the canvas is 2000 by 1500 pixels.
Cool.
In size. So that's the canvas we're working with now. So this is behind. So we also have a layering system. Where is it? Right here. Move up. Let's put that on top. Make it a little smaller.
Damn, you make it look so easy.
So actually, I need to change the input file to the POD one so that like you don't have that camp trailer one that's right in the middle. So you just switch that out like that. So now I'm using the other POD file we created earlier. So let's say that's kind of where we want it. I'm going to sync that. So now check this out. So you basically created a mock-up. So I'm going to go back to the first listing, add some opacity. We have that right here. To like 85, maybe slightly higher.
Okay.
So now it kind of will blend in with the shirt behind it. And
That's
then,
a good call, dude, because sometimes I see people's mock-ups and they literally just kind of do what you just did, except maybe they do it in Photoshop or Canva or wherever. And it's like, they don't have that like softness where it feels natural.
Yeah.
And it just seems like, you know, you just copy pasted some design off Google Images onto a t-shirt. Looks super unnatural.
Yeah, and exactly. If you're building basic mock-ups like this, that'll at least kind of blend in with the fabric and the color behind the shirt. So it makes it look a little more real. Ideally,
Yeah, when
use a PSV file, but
yeah, when it gets printed in real life, which is what this is supposed to mimic, like it doesn't just come out in like a hex code 000 black, you know?
yep. All right, so this, by the way, this wood background here, I generated with Dream AI earlier, and then just download it to my computer. So I want to actually use this as an example for this mockup. Make it big enough. Let's go align middle, and again, we'll just move it back down to bottom.
Nice.
So now we have like that. And again, if I go to the next one, it's not going to be on this, right? So I have to hit the sync button. Or if you wanted to, you could go through and add a background color to these.
Nice.
And get whatever you wanted. You could go through each of them and add a different background color if you wanted. Just kind of showing some of the possibilities, but I don't want that. I'm actually going to use that wood background. I hit sync. Now it's on all of these.
That's so cool, dude.
And then the last thing, I'm going to add one more, like an element. If this is going to be my primary, let's say, mock-up on Etsy. See if the black will look good on this.
So you're just making a whole like template for your primary thumbnails just in My Designs.
Yeah. Instead have to go to Canva and do that. And if you do go to Canva, you're going to have to do everything one by one, right? So if you had 100 plus listings, you could just do it all with about the same amount of time it would take you to do one on Canva. That's probably not the best, but it's good for the example. So I'm going to sync that. So now it'll be on all these listings.
This is how I used to do mine. I mean, obviously, like Etsy's gotten a lot more competitive. Like when I started my print-on-demand Etsy shop, I think it was 2018. This is what I used to do. I mean, literally, like with the wood background and everything, my logo. So
yeah, I just thought it'd be a good example, like to try this out.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's like that doesn't look the best, but I think it kind of gets the point across. So if you like that, then you could just basically, let's say, create. I actually have a mock-up spot already. I'll put this here. Apply that to all of them. So it'll create all 20 of those. And you have full control. And over Dream AI will eventually be possible within the Canvas system too. So you could just put in a text prompt, generate a background behind your mockup, and things like that. So it get too easy.
It's not even like necessary, but it's just there. It's just like, yeah, you know, don't even go to Pexels or wherever to grab like a photographer. You know, forget the photographers. Just have an AI make it for you.
Yeah, and AI is going to eventually be able to generate base mockups for you too.
Yeah, that's absurd.
So this isn't the best looking mockup. I just wanted to show off the different elements you could just drag and drop from your computer and do different things like this.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's so good. Like, hopefully you guys are seeing like how powerful this is. If you have if you like kind of have a plan, you set an intent, like Curtis is just doing this kind of as he goes here, but like, you know, if you plan out what your mockups are supposed to look like, you know, just do what he just showed you basically. That's one way of going about it. You can also have your like PSD mockups kind of optimized with the smart layers. Anybody in my private community where I do my weekly like live streams and whatnot, I made a bunch of mockups for you that you can just use as is, or, you know, open in Photoshop, open in Photopea and just edit with the smart layers that you can just move around. So anybody wondering like mockup wise, it makes your life a little bit easier. Obviously it's already, My Designs comes with a bunch of mockups as well. So
yeah, we have a massive, it's almost 1,000 plus mockups now in our library.
Nice.
So I was just kind of experimenting with a different type of background here. Sync that up, make sure this kind of show the possibilities.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And sync. I do the sync because it apply all the settings I applied to this one to all the selected listings. And I just wanted to show you how quickly you can generate. This is obviously random, but and one thing that's another important thing with the Canvas system is if you generate mockups with our mockup system, which we have a lot of high quality mockups, you could then take that mockup through the input file in the Canvas system. So just adjust it here. This input file to that mockup you generated. So in this case with the Canvas, now if you wanted to add your logo for your shop to this primary mockup or anything like that, you just upload, drop it in, click sync, and then overwrite it. In the
Dude, that's so powerful. Oh.
Yeah. So that's another really, so you can generate all the really high quality mockups from our mockup generator. And then in this case, come add, we'll just add this one. Use this example. Well, that's big. So wherever you wanted that, I'll sync that. Now it'll be on all these. So I could just overwrite it too. So mockup 2, I'm actually overwrite the original, so you don't have to create a new file.
You can just do that now?
Yeah. So it'll tell you there's a file in the slot. It'll warn you. I just hit continue, and it'll just overwrite it.
No, I love that, because didn't you used to have to like bulk delete first and then have to go yeah. So now you're making it. See, you guys are killing it though, man. I love the attention to detail, just making the user experience like more intuitive, easier, faster.
Yeah, we're doing that every week. We spend a lot of time just optimizing the UI and optimizing these different features that we need. Go check out this one real quick. Yeah, it's so bulk created, right? Simple, but I used the wrong input file too, as you can see here. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
And then that one's overwritten. I think that's mockup 2. Yeah. So now you just add like, I can do ships next day or different icons that are really popular.
And if you guys are wondering too, you could also like, I mean, we've shown this before, but you could do like the image overlay and just like take that same crazy pattern that you had in the background and like apply it as a clipping mask in My Designs to the design that you see here, which is just that like flat gray. So you could have like the, you know, crazy patterned version of these designs as well, and then sell them as like an alternative listing.
Exactly. Now, and also this is the mug template. I just changed it over here to a mug. This is another like example. I could duplicate this and move it over here. So it's double-sided print for a mug. Now, if I like that, I could sync it. Now you basically create the print ready file for mugs that quickly, that easily.
Yeah.
And then use
you
those.
can feed that into the mockups and push that straight to Etsy.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a lot more going on. So hope we get on another call in a couple of weeks and go over that.
Yeah, we got to keep doing these updates, because in the last like month, like anybody that's on my email list knows I've been working on moving my whole emails. I had to resend the whole, you know, free email course for 2023 out recently, but I'm getting everything kind of worked out. I told you before we hit record, I've got a couple hundred new designs just sitting on my desktop in folders organized by niche, which I did mention. That's how I kind of prefer doing it now. Ready to be uploaded to My Designs, to my Etsy shop. So can't wait, man. And updates on Shopify, let us know.
Yeah, so Shopify, we're about to begin. We put it on pause because we had most of it done. We had to implement their billing API. And then, of course, all of the changes we made for Etsy, specifically selling on Etsy, are now going to also be possible on Shopify. So we're working on that now. It's hard to give an exact time frame, but I think within 30 to 45 days, we'll have it released to the public.
Cool, man. Well, everything else has moved along so quickly, like however long it takes. I can't wait though. I've mentioned I've got my Shopify store planned out. I know I have to use My Designs to get it stocked. Otherwise it's just going to take too much time.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I can't wait.
To me, that's one of the biggest upsides of My Designs too, is let's say you build out, let's just say you're selling on Etsy, you have thousands of products eventually that are on your Etsy shop. We roll out Shopify, you're like, okay, maybe I'll take all, you know, a couple thousand of these products and put them on my Shopify store. You'll be able to do that in a day or two using My Designs. Just queue it all up. All the work's done. If you want to modify the titles and stuff, more for Google, which you probably would, then you'll just queue it all up, modify everything, and then just push it to the Shopify store. And then when we release Amazon Seller Central, which is going to come after Shopify, same thing. All your data's here, all your designs, your mockups, your products. Is click a few buttons and queue it up, and within a couple of days, it's all live on Amazon too. So having it here in the cloud, and then we'll open up marketing automation and all that in the future too. So we have a pretty big vision for where it's all going to go, and I think it's important to understand that if everything's here, it'll get significantly easier for you as a seller over the coming months and years.
That's amazing. And you know what? Instead of saying everybody go find that playlist, I'm going to link the playlist with all the kind of videos in sequential order in the description next to the My Designs link. Y'all can check that out. And just kind of, if you have time and you want to watch, like check the progression of where this tool has been. Curtis comes on, talks about the vision, and then see how, you know, we'll like surpass whatever you said, you know, a year and a half ago versus today versus where you said we're going to be in, you know, 45 days. So it's just a crazy story. Yeah. And y'all do the hard work, man. We just have to come here and like click the UI, the user-friendly, you know, UI. And like we said, like monetize AI, monetize these designs. So it's really cool. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that.
Cool. Well, hey, until next time, Curtis, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it.